Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to calculate your tax slab or tax bracket, meaning maybe you have already determined your chargeable income and you want to use Excel to automate the calculations. Alright, I'm going to show you quickly how to use Excel function using if and max function in Excel to calculate your tax bracket or slab. Alright, so quickly let me share my screen with you. Alright, so as you can see on my screen, this is what I'm going to show you for today. Alright, what you need is just 5 columns to automate this Excel. You can see A, B, C, D up to D, and maybe 12 rows. Alright, go ahead and type this value, speak for your system, type your chargeable income under column A, and then skip to column E and type and just leave this blank. For instance, I'm going to show you how to do this. So now this is what we're going to be doing. This is a fully automated tax calculation bracket. If you change these values here, it can affect all the values. Alright, so anything we do here affects the whole. Alright, so this one I'm going to show you today. So my goal is to show you how to automate this tax bracket table so that it can automatically calculate your tax for you without so much headache. So I'm going to be using if and max function. Alright, let's go ahead. Alright, now this is the blank Excel sheet. Alright, now let's assume this individual or her chargeable income is say 500,000 for instance. Now I want to determine their adjustment. So we're going to say equal to max. Why am I using max? I'm using max because I don't want negative values in my tax bracket. So I said Excel should only return the highest value should be 0, but no negative values. That's why I use max. So say if, open the bracket. Now if is a logical function using Excel when we have conditional statements, right, to make. We won't want Excel to return the value if something else is different from our expectation, right? So example, logical statement. Whenever you press a function, Excel will open this logical element for giving you all the parameters in the function. Now, first of all, we have to state our logical statement. What should happen if it is true, and what should happen if it is false, right? Now, say if our chargeable income, which is under cell E1, alright, you can say 500,000, alright, but since I already have the values typed in the cell reference, I just reference the cell, and this is better because you can't keep coming to change the values every time in your cell bracket. So it's better to reference the cell bracket, right, so that any changes you make will affect it, right, subsequently. Okay, so supposing our chargeable income, which is 500,000, is greater than our value range, which is the first value range stipulated by law. Alright, we have done our logical statement. We want to put a comma. Excel quietly move to the next element in the function. So it's telling you what should be the value if this logical test is true. So it should return our 800,000. We have told it what to do. It should return our first value range because our chargeable income is greater than the value range, so it should return this. But what if it's not true? You use a comma, Excel will ask you, what if it is not true? What should happen? Right? So you're going to tell Excel it should return any amount that is in your chargeable income here if it's not greater than 800,000. So it should return E1. So we'll close our bracket. We open 2 brackets, as you can see. This is the first bracket and the second one. So we're going to close 2 brackets. See, Excel has returned our 500,000 because this amount here is less than this amount. This is our value range. Alright, so let's do the next one and see. Equal to max. Open the bracket, 0, comma. If our chargeable income, which is E1, after taking the first 800,000, alright, is still greater than the next value range, which is 2.2 million naira. What should happen? He said has told us what is the value if it is true. It should return 2.2 million naira. Otherwise, what should happen if it is false? That's value if false. So Excel should return our chargeable gain, chargeable income rather, after subtracting this first 800,000 that we have taken. Close the bracket. You see, there's nothing here. That's why it returns 0, because we have exhausted our chargeable income. So supposing this is more than 500,000, let's say 900,000. You see, it's like, okay, now after taking the first 800,000, we are left with only 100,000. That's why this 100,000 is here. So if you sum up this adjustment column, it should give you the total chargeable income. As you can see, 800 plus 100 is 900. You can see under here, under our status bar, 900,000 is equal to our chargeable income. So we are correct. Okay, let's go over to the next one. Equal to, put your marks in the brackets. If our chargeable income, which is under cell E1, after taking this 800,000 plus this 2.2 million, let me put that in bracket since we have more than one variable. Yes, so if our chargeable income E1, after taking this B4, B5, which is 800,000 and 2.2 million, is still greater, right? Is still greater than our 9 million, right? What should happen? It should return our 9 million. Otherwise, it should compute our chargeable income minus this value we have already taken plus this next 100,000 we have taken. Close our bracket. He said we found a typo. I supposed to use 3 brackets because I opened 3 brackets, right? So if I want the set to correct it automatically, I will say yes. So if I say yes, right, now you see there's no value there because we have already exhausted our chargeable income. So let me increase this to say 3.2 million. You see, now after taking the first 800,000 and the next 2.2 million, we are already left with 200,000. That's why it is here. To check that we are correct, sum up these 3 adjustments is giving you 3.2 million, meaning we are in check, right? Now the next thing, let's do for the next equal to max in the bracket, comma, if our chargeable income after taking all these values, 800,000 plus 2.2 million plus B6 plus 9 million. If our chargeable income, which is under cell E1, after we have taken 800,000 B4, 2.2 million, which is B5, and 9 million, which is B6, it is still greater than the next value range. Alright? What should happen? That is value if true. It should return 13 million, which is our B7. Otherwise, if it is not true, it should compute E1 minus all the values we have taken out of this chargeable income. So we have taken 800,000. I've also taken 2.2 million. I've also, We are also taking this. Close the bracket. The 3 brackets. As you can see, it's blank. Why? Because we have already exhausted our chargeable income. So let's increase this to say 10 million. No, let's say 15 million. Yes, 15 million. Alright, now we have it. You see? So if we sum up this adjustment, it's giving us 15 million. That means you are in check. Alright? That's why it is equal to our chargeable income. The summation of all these adjustments should give you your chargeable income, or else you are wrong. Now let's go ahead with the next one. If max 0, open the bracket, if our chargeable income after taking, that is minus this, let me put that in bracket, after taking this plus this plus this plus this, alright, that's B7 after taking the last value, which is 13 million. B7 is still greater than 25 million. You see the function? That's if our E1 chargeable income after taking 800,000, 2.2 million, 9 million, and 30 million, which is B4, B5, B6, and B7. After taking this, if the value is still greater than 25 million, what should Excel do? This value, if true, it should return our 25 million. Otherwise, Excel should compute our chargeable income minus all the values we already adjusted. Alright, so let's say minus this plus this plus this plus this. We close our brackets. Then that's the end. 1, 2, 3. So if you watch, there's no amount here because by default we have exhausted our chargeable income. If you sum up all these values here to give you the same 15 million, alright? So what if we have, let's say, 70 million here? Okay, let's see. So we have added this all together and it gives us 50 million. That means you see half chunk of money left we've not used. Let's go to the last one, equal to max, don't forget your opening bracket, 0, if, open another bracket, if our chargeable income after taking the values from B1 up to B9, so let's put that inside a bracket, they're taking B4 plus B5, right, that's 2.2 million, plus B6, that's 9 million, plus B7, that is 13 million, plus 25 million, alright. Now this is our logical test, alright. That is D1. If our chargeable income, after we have taken 800,000, 2.2 million, 9 million, 13 million, 25 million, all of that, is still greater than 50 million. Right? What should Excel do? So it should return. Now, this will be slightly different from the rest because now the law says any amount above 50 million should be multiplied by 25%. So we'll say it should return our chargeable income minus this amount. Whatever is here should be subtracted from the total that is here. Alright? Otherwise, it should return B1 minus the sum of all the values we have already taken. Sorry for that. Sorry. Plus 2 million plus 9 million plus 13 million plus 25 million. Close our brackets. How many brackets we open? Don't forget. 1, 2, 3, 4 brackets. Okay. Now let's check that and see if you are correct. Let's sum up all these values. That gives us 70 million. Alright. As you can see, our chargeable income, we've exhausted it and we arrive at this adjustment. So let's get the tax payable. Simply here, we just say equal to D4. Want to multiply this adjustment by the rate given to us. So times the rate. We'll enter. As you can see, this is 0. So to get for the remaining values, just double click, bring your mouse to that rectangular point. Your mouse will become like a cross-like symbol. You double click. Alright. Or if you want to use that, you can bring your mouse under that place. You can bring your mouse still to that same point, and then you click and drag. Alright. So either way it works. So now let's get our total value here. So to get our annual totality, we'll sum the whole of this value here. Bring your mouse to the point where you want your results to be displayed. You say equal to sum, open a bracket. Then you bring your mouse to the point where your values are situated. Then you drag down to the last value. You close the bracket, enter. Since this is the annual tax, so to get it monthly, we simply divide this amount by 12. So we say equal to this divided by 12, enter. This is our monthly tax. Alright. So that's how we automated this tax slab. That's what we have, what I showed you from the beginning. Right. So supposing this is 120 million, so we'll do the same thing here also. We'll change this to 120 million. We'll get the same result. Okay, this is the monthly tax payable. Even if we change here to 40,000 naira, you can see all other values are 0 because it's not up to the range where we can charge tax, because the law says you must have above 800,000 for start charging tax. So let's make this one, let's say 850,000. See, the first 800,000 is at 0%. So what is left is 50,000. So multiply that by 50%, we have this. So we'll sum up all these values. This monthly tax is 625 naira only. This annual tax is 7,500 naira, right? As you can see. Okay, so that's how this tax bracket is automated. Alright, so I'm going to share this Excel sheet with you, this Excel file. You can just download it and then follow along using these functions that we have applied. Okay, you can pause the video to copy the functions, whatever, and then apply it. Don't make mistake. But now I want to show you something. Instead of typing all these long values, these longer cell addresses, we can further reduce them to make them look nicer. Alright, like what I did here. You can see I made them look smaller and reduce them using some functions. Alright, so let me show you what I did. Okay, so like let's start from here. If you see, you will say E1 minus the sum of all these cell addresses. Alright, so now we can make it say sum of B4 up to B8. So let's delete all these ones to make it smaller. It will recognize it. Okay, same thing here. We come here, D4 up to D8. Right, we delete everything here, D4 up to D8. Sorry. Okay, yes, correct. You can say B4 up to B8, or then add some. That is why it didn't give us our function there, right? The sum D4 up to D8. Alright, so the same thing you can do here. Instead of typing all the cell address individually, you can say E1 minus the sum of B4 up to B7. Alright? B4 up to B7. Alright? Then the same thing here, minus the sum of D4 up to D7. No, column means up to, alright? Enter to do the same thing. Same thing we did here. The sum of B4 up to B6, just to reduce too many cell addresses from our function, to make it look nice and clean. Okay, so sum. Alright, so same thing. Okay, this one is already short, so we don't have to bother ourselves with that. So supposing our income here 20 million. So you see, fully automated. Regardless, our functions, our formula is very nice, sweet and clean, as you can see. Alright, short, simple, and yet fully automated and active. Alright, so you can go ahead and learn how to automate your tax bracket. Please, if you need me to share this Excel file with you, just make it in the comment section. I'm going to share it with you. Right, you can just then follow the same procedures and then automate your tax bracket and tax slab. Alright, so thank you for watching this video. Alright, so in my next video I'm going to be showing you how to create a data entry form that will be used to automate our payroll. Right, so I'm going to show you how to do an automated recording sheet using advanced function like macro. Alright, macros and VBAs. If you've not watched my previous video, how to calculate tax, because this video is an extension of that video I made. There I didn't explain the function I used to arrive at those figures. So what I have explained in detail. So if you want to watch that video, simply just click the link above and watch that video, then you understand better how those values were determined. Okay, also if you've not watched my previous video, how to reduce your tax liabilities, please go ahead. You can go to this playlist and watch all the videos I have shared with you. It will explain extensively everything you need to know about tax in Nigeria. Alright, thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for now. See you.